of the Sleeping Beauty cake. If you've not seen part 1, go and check that out first, because we're at the point now where the cake is completely collapsing like it does to the fairies in Sleeping Beauty. So I decided to pull the cake layers off the big dowel and take the big dowel off and put a new one in. I put this one more vertical, hoping that this would support the cakes better, and I just kept adding white chocolate ganache to try and glue them together. I added some more dowels and just kept threading the cakes on, adding more dowels, but it just kept collapsing and the sponges were all crumbling at this point. You can see the bottom there is quite squashed and there's no way that that's going to support the rest of the layers. But I kept trying to rethread it and patch it up, but it just kept crumbling in my hand. You can see here I keep trying to add ganache onto the sides, but it's just not happening. And this is really where I could have done with a magic wand. So after lots of repositioning and lifting them off and putting them back on again and adding ganache and adding dowels and taking dowels away, I decided that I needed to reduce the amount of sponges. Now, I really wanted this to be 15 sponges high because that is what it is in the film. But you can just see here all the foundation of the cake is just completely crumbled and mushed up, and there was no way that that was gonna hold up as 15 sponges. So I decided to take away all the sponges at the bottom that had crumbled and just focus on the 9 on the top that were still intact and make the cake 9 sponges high. I decided to put some of the layers in the fridge and freezer to firm up again and have a good old tidy up, just clear everything down and take a breather. And then here are the 9 sponges that survived. So I added some more blue drip just to glue them together, and then I added the broom as well. It seemed to be holding up a lot better this way. The sponges that collapsed I put into Tupperwares and gave them away, and then I added a sugar paste extra bit to the broom at the bottom just to give it that extra support. This is just brown PME sugar paste, and added the details with some black sugar paste, and I scored it to make it look more like a broom. The cake in the film has got yellow drapes around the top, so I added those and added the flowers that I made earlier on, and 16 pink candles. And here it is, all done and finished. I am really pleased with it, and I do think it looks like the one from the film. I would have loved it to be 16 sponges high, but it just wasn't happening. I tried and tried and tried, and I had to admit defeat. And I did get there in the end. I loved this film when I was little, and I would have been thrilled if I could see my adult self making this cake. I especially love it when she folds in the eggs and you hear them crack. That is just so satisfying. Do you remember this cake from the Sleeping Beauty film? Did you enjoy it when they make the cake? Are there any other cakes from any other films you like? And then of course we had to watch it topple a little bit later on.
Yeah, can I take this off?
You're taking the broom off?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh.
No, it's going. Oh. I can see it. It's moving.
It is moving.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Oh.
Kind of